Marilyn Monroe was one of the most influential fashion and sex symbols of the 1950s. There's no denying that. She turned heads everywhere she went with her stunning fashion, perfectly tailored for her flawless body. She posed for numerous bikini photo shoots throughout her tragically short-lived career. Join Facts First as we take a look back on several of Marilyn Monroe's most seductive bikini photos that leave little to the imagination. She used her sex appeal to rise to the top. Marilyn started modeling in the mid-1940s, appearing on the covers of numerous magazines before she dabbled in acting. A few of her earliest film roles came after signing a contract with 20th Century Fox. In 1953, Monroe starred in 3 iconic films: How to Marry a Millionaire, Niagara, and Gentlemen Prefer Blondes. Each film did well at the box office and were met with critical acclaim. Naturally, Marilyn gained worldwide recognition and became a key player both in the entertainment industry and the beauty world. In 1954, while she was filming The 7-Year Itch in New York, Marilyn posed for that famed subway grate scene in her infamous little white dress. That sequence remains one of the most iconic scenes in film history, but at the time, it was pretty controversial. Of course, one of the best things that can help a film's performance is a nice dose of controversy. As such, the film became a smash hit and took in millions. Monroe's fans from all over the world were captivated by her charming personality, voluptuous figure, come-hither eyes, and signature bleach blonde pin curls. Countless imitators attempted to emulate her trademarked look with varying degrees of success, but everyone knows Marilyn was the original. She revealed some of her biggest secrets. In an issue of Playboy that hit newsstands in September of 1953, Monroe, who was that month's centerfold, divulged a few of her beauty and wellness secrets. She said she was naturally gifted with a languorous disposition and she hated doing things in a hasty, hurried manner. She went on to reveal that it was all but impossible for her to spring out of bed in the morning. On Sundays, her day of total leisure and relaxation, Monroe said she would often take up to 2 hours to wake up, soaking in every last second of luxurious drowsiness. Depending on the previous night's activities, she would sleep anywhere from 5 to 10 hours every evening. She further shared insights into her regular exercise regimen. Apparently, much of this consisted of what she dubbed as her bust-firming routine, in which she would lift 5-pound weights over her head several times throughout the day. She claimed she didn't like to count rhythmically like the exercise instructors did on the radio, and she couldn't stand exercise if it felt too regimented. Marilyn passed away, succumbing to a drug overdose in 1962 at age 36, but her legacy still lives on. Several generations have grown up idolizing her sense of style, beauty, and attitude. Marilyn was more than a fashion influencer. She was also a visionary whose impact inspired many of the fashion world's brightest designers. Before we tell you more about her, be sure to give this video a like and subscribe to Facts First if you haven't already. She always looked flawless. Monroe effortlessly rocked retro looks that still inspire us, and when she took her pinup style to the beach, we'd be willing to bet the mermaids got jealous. Take this photo from 1953, for example. The blonde bombshell was showing off her enviable figure, wearing an all-white bikini decked out with contrasting black button detailing. She finished up her look with a pair of gold hoop-style earrings and sexy lucite heels. Here's another from 1953 of Monroe posing in a one-piece with a plunging neckline that would make anyone blush. Once again, her footwear game was on point because look at those strappy heels. Then there's this lovely little snapshot from 1953, which must have been a pretty amazing year for her. She's seen here showing off her hourglass assets to the camera while wearing a beautiful one-piece featuring crystal accents. She's also wearing a pair of platform sandals. Let's go back in time a little further and look at this pose from 1952. Marilyn is seen wearing a daring one-piece while giving the photographer a look that likely made him spill his coffee. A year prior, Marilyn rocked this itty-bitty little polka-dotted number, years before Brian Hyland wrote a song about it and made it all the rage. Marilyn barely had to raise a finger to look downright dazzling. This shot from 1947 was taken when Marilyn was still a young, baby-faced newcomer, just getting her feet in the water. She's seen posing in a pin-up-inspired portrait, wearing a two-piece bikini while sporting strawberry blonde hair. In this beachside photo, she mesmerized wearing a white and red striped bikini. It's no wonder everyone from Frank Sinatra to John F. Kennedy wanted to win a date with her. Just as Esther Williams, Betty Grable, and Brigitte Bardot had done, Marilyn Monroe used revealing swimwear to prop up her career and enhance her sex appeal, but she was far more than just a sex symbol. Monroe was self-empowered, body positive, and woke long before those terms entered the pop culture lexicon. She overcame adversity. Growing up in foster homes and orphanages where she was subjected to abuse, the world's favorite blonde bombshell's troubled upbringing only pushed her to overcome her background and make something of herself. She knew what audiences, particularly men, wanted. With her puppy dog eyes and breathy voice, which was suggested to her by a speech therapist to help overcome a stutter, Monroe transformed herself into one of the most sought-after stars of the day. But it wasn't all about her looks. Monroe proved time and time again she was a gifted actress who was incredibly intelligent. And she used these smarts to her advantage. By participating in the photo shoots seen in this video, Monroe successfully marketed herself. Knowing sex sells, Marilyn leaned into her sexuality. It was never something she felt afraid of. Rather, she embraced her looks with self-determination and grace. Some might even call her one of Hollywood's early feminists. She started her own production company. Not long after signing with 20th Century Fox, Monroe grew tired of all the dumb blonde roles she was used to receiving. She wanted to have more say in the roles and scripts handed her way. She once told Life magazine journalist Richard Merriman that while an actress isn't a machine, many in the industry like to treat them like one. In 1955, she launched Marilyn Monroe Productions, becoming the first woman in U.S. history after Mary Pickford to set up her own production company. After some tricky legal maneuvering, Monroe and Fox agreed on a deal that resulted in her receiving back pay, a more substantial salary, and more say in the scripts, cinematographer, and directors she was willing to work with. This was a rare victory for an actress back then. Marilyn Monroe Productions went on to produce The Prince and the Showgirl. As far as body positivity, Marilyn was what people would today call curvy. She was full-figured and proud of it. This was long before the days of airbrushing and Photoshop. What we saw was what we got. Marilyn's unabashed flaunting of her looks and curves, coupled with her overt sexuality, might have once been seen as being counter to feminist ideals, but nowadays she's hailed by some as an icon of self-love and body positivity. Now it's time to hear from you. What's your favorite memory of Marilyn Monroe? Let us know in the comments section below. And before you go, make sure you give this video a like and subscribe to Facts First if you haven't already. Click the bell icon to stay updated on all our latest content. By the way, if you haven't joined Facts First as a member yet, be sure to look below this video and click the join button. By becoming a paid member of Facts First, you'll get access to exclusive video content that you won't find anywhere else. This includes some of our more mature content that isn't suitable for public audiences, which includes topics like Hollywood actresses who posed for Playboy